Now it is. I'm from Russia.
Hey,
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, so excited.
I'm excited too. That is an unbelievable filter. That's like actually a filter. That's not what you act. That's not what that the set looks like. You got to show me how to do that.
Oh, I adjusted the settings and it came up. I don't usually go live on Instagram because I do so many other apps that I go like when I do live streaming. So
Yep.
Instagram live I don't usually do as often.
Well, I'm honored that you are doing this with me. And
Oh,
how is everybody liked the podcast episode?
it was great. I got so many downloads. Yeah, everyone loved it. I got so much feedback as well. Yeah.
Awesome. And I also saw that you are a big fan of Ed Milet.
Oh yeah, he was on my podcast as well, and Jamie Kerr Lima and all the other guys you were on their podcast as well recently.
Yep, we've been doing the tour.
hmm I loved it. I saw you on morning show as well. You're like,
Oh, the Today Show. Yep. I
yeah, the
am.
high five
We are
habit.
everywhere. Do you know we're the number one audiobook in the world? And we were number two on Amazon yesterday, number one in Canada. And I think the world needs a book that is about self-empowerment, a book that's about being kind to yourself, a book that teaches you how to stop looking outside of yourself for the answers and to bring all of the power back into yourself. What did you get from our conversation?
A lot. And I've tried the 5 second rule. It helped me a lot with anxiety, especially because as soon as I started getting kind of anxious, I would do like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it would go away.
Wow.
Yep.
And the reason why that works is because when you count backwards, five, four, three, two, one, everybody, it requires focus. And so it interrupts the loop of worries that can just run on repeat in your mind. That's why it's working.
Yeah, it was incredible. And as far as hi-fi, it was easier for me because I already done so much inner work and I already done so much work on myself. So it wasn't as hard for me to high-five myself in the mirror, but it felt really, really good.
Well, as we talked, one of the reasons why it feels really good and what she's talking about is that most people resist it or think it's weird or stupid. But it feels good because your brain is releasing dopamine. And it feels good because your nervous system gives you a jolt of celebratory energy. And that's why the science on this is so amazing. It's a way to take programming in your body and activate it every morning by high-fiving the person you see in your mirror, yourself, and giving yourself a little boost in your mood and a little energizing sense in your body to start your day.
Yeah, I loved it. And as far as your book, it just came out 2 days ago, right?
Yep.
I mean, you probably got tons of feedback and tons of messages. Like, how did it
Well,
feel for you?
I, for me, the thing that really drives me is the impact that the book is having in real people's lives. And so we have received messages that just bring me to my down to my knees. And, I think what's really surprising and also really exciting is so many of the messages are actually from men because we know that women struggle with self-doubt and struggle with insecurity and struggle with people pleasing and struggle with self-hatred and insecurity, but we don't talk enough about how men also do. Like 50% of men can't look at themselves in the mirror. They don't like the person they see. They don't like their body. They don't like what the person staring back at them. And so it's been really encouraging and just moving to see the number of men that are saying, I'm listening to this book. I can't believe how hard I've been on myself. The first high five was really hard, but it felt good. We've also heard from people that we heard from somebody yesterday that is been able to stay sober because they have been doing the high five habit. And a lot of people that struggle with addiction, when they look in the mirror, they see somebody that has made a lot of mistakes. They see all of the things that they're ashamed of, that they can't forgive themselves for. And it's very hard to recover when you are constantly beating yourself up over the things that you did while you were trying to survive. And so hearing from people around the world that are saying this high five habit is teaching me how to forgive myself because it's how I can act in a way that shows me some compassion. Hearing that people are going to AA meetings and, you know, somebody will stand up and say, I just started doing this thing called the high five habit, and it's really helping. And so, you know, if you're somebody that's very hard on yourself, if you're somebody that's criticizing yourself, and that's every human being, if you're sick of focusing on the negative, if you wish you could enjoy your life more, this is for you. And, you know, the other thing that I'm really excited about is we have opened the High Five Challenge, which is a free 5-day challenge that I created. It is created by me, but it's powered by all of you. The High Five Challenge. You can register for free at highfivechallenge.com. It starts on Monday. We've got more than 10,000 people already pre-registered. They're already in the app, loading up photos, celebrating each other. We haven't even started the challenge yet. It's 5 days of me teaching you how to break through self-doubt and through fear, teaching you small ways in the science of taking control of your life. It's journal prompts. It's 1,000% free. And it's super exciting because I think it's going to provide the energy, the community or the crew that you need right now to lift you up. It's going to provide you the tools, the accountability. It's super fun. It's super simple. And I'm leading it. So get into highfivechallenge.com because it's a way for you to get the support that you need right now for free.
I see so many questions here. I guess
Yeah,
some people are
let's
new
go.
and they don't even know like what we are talking about. Would you please like briefly tell us what is High Five Habit about and what inspired you to write this book?
Yeah. So if you so the high five habit's very simple. I want you to start high fiving your reflection every morning right after you brush your teeth. And in the very beginning, you're going to think that this is stupid. You're going to resist it. You're going to roll your eyes at it. But I discovered this simple habit about a year and a half ago when I felt very, very overwhelmed by my life. I started doing it every single day as a way to send myself into my day feeling like, okay, I can handle this. I see that I think it's Michael did it this morning. How did it work for you, Michael? What did you experience? And I've ended up doing a year-long research project on this habit. And here's what the benefit is, everybody. And thank you for saying it's not stupid at all. I say very loudly it sounds stupid because 99% of people, when they first hear it, roll their eyes and think it's stupid. That's how resigned we are. That's how we are. That's how judgmental we are. And what I'm on a mission to do is to wake you the heck up and to understand that you have a habit right now that is ugly and that is destructive. And it's a habit you don't even realize that you have. And every single morning when you stand in the bathroom and you're brushing your teeth, you either ignore yourself. That's what 50% of people do. They ignore themselves. Or you pick apart everything you don't like about yourself. You see all the stuff you need to fix. And that habit is destroying your self-confidence. The reason why you feel insecure is you start your day by rejecting yourself. Not looking at yourself in a mirror, that's a form of rejection. Picking apart the things you don't like, the things you need to fix, that's a form of rejection. And that's how you start your day. And I want you to break that horrible habit and I want you to replace it with a new habit. And here's what I also know based on the research. Mantras and just talking to yourself positive doesn't work. You have spent decades destroying your self-confidence. You have spent decades going, I suck, I'm a failure, everything's going to go wrong, I'm a bad person, I screwed up, I don't like my face, I wish I was taller, I wish my hair weren't kinky, I wish I were lighter or darker or this or that. You have picked yourself apart for so long. There's no freaking way that you can stand in front of a mirror and go, I'm awesome. Your brain won't believe it. You haven't programmed it to think that. And so here's what I want you to do. I want you to use the power of a high five because here's where the science gets bananas, you guys. The programming's already in your mind. This is a whole field of research called neurobics. That's a word that means neuro pathways and aerobic activity. Researchers have proven that the fastest way to plow new neural pathways in your mind is to marry a physical action with a new thought. And so when you go to high five yourself, you can stand. This is the coolest part of it. You don't have to say anything. You stand in your bathroom, you see the person, you go, ugh. Or you see a person, you're like, you suck. You're never going to, like, that's what you're thinking. The second you go to raise your hand and high five your reflection, even though you think you're a failure, even though you think there's something wrong with you, the second you go to raise your hand, your mind recognizes the high five and it grabs all the programming already in your brain affiliated with the high five and marries it to your reflection. A high five says, I believe in you, I see you, I love you, you got this. And so the coolest part is you have never in your life high fived somebody and thought, I hate you. You've never done it. So the action alone, everyone, the action alone is what will reprogram your mind, because your mind has all the positive programming in it. You've been high-fiving everyone else. We're going to do it to your own reflection. We're going to point that science right at you. And the other thing that's cool is that you get a drip of dopamine, so you feel better. Your nervous system recognizes a high five, so you get a little jolt. You can do it throughout the day. I see these questions. Can I do it throughout a
Yeah,
day?
why they say
It took a
why
while,
it's
but
not
holy
only in the
moly, it
morning.
made a big difference. Why does it do it in the morning? Number one, the reason why I want you to do it
Yeah.
in the morning is based on research. Your mood in the
Mm-hmm.
morning impacts your productivity and focus all day long. And research shows there's a whole field of study called emotional contagion. How you literally feel and the emotions that you're feeling, they will be infectious. So if you start your day feeling down and low and beating yourself up, that is going to infect the rest of your day. If you leave your bathroom every single morning feeling like you got your own back, feeling like no matter what challenge comes on today, you know that you are going to be able to face it. You're going to be there for yourself. That's how you send yourself into every single day, with that celebratory, enthusiastic, optimistic energy. That doesn't mean you're like going into your day like, yeah. It just is like, okay, here we go. Just like you would start any sport. You don't start the sport by going, you suck, we're going to lose, today's going to be terrible. You go, let's get this. And so you don't have to say anything. Just the high five is like, I see you. We got this. It creates partnership within you with yourself. And you send yourself into your day feeling a little bit better. And that changes your day. The other reason why I want you to start doing this in the morning, and yes, you can do it all day long. In fact, if you've got something that knocks you down, find a mirror and high five yourself. Remind yourself of who you are and that you got this. But in the morning, I want you to do this for yourself before the rest of the world hijacks you. And the other thing that I want you to do in the morning is I want to use some more science, and I want you to do it right after you brush your teeth, because then we can do what's called habit stacking. We can take a habit that you already have and we can stack it with a new habit, and that's going to make that habit stick. That's why we're going to do it first thing in the morning in the mirror.
But you know, all the habits we usually do, they stick with us. If you do it for 21 days, it actually
I think that's
sticks to
baloney.
your brain.
I think that's
Yeah.
baloney.
How many
Yes. If
days?
you
I know
don't,
you said 5.
I don't think, look, I think a habit sticks in 21 days if you like doing it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
invented the 5-second rule to get out of bed. It's 13 years later. I still use the 5-second rule to get out of bed because I hate getting out of bed. And so I want
Yeah.
everybody to understand, if you enjoy doing it, it'll probably become a habit. If you can't stand doing
Yeah.
it, you're probably going to need a push.
And you know what I noticed? I seen your birthday is on October 6th and mine is on 7th.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Well, we are New Year's babies. That's what that means.
Yeah.
These are October 1st through the 7th are the most popular birthdays of the year because we are New Year's babies.
Yeah, so our birthday coming up.
Happy Libra.
Yeah, Libra season. And what do you would like for listeners to take out from the book? What's the main point?
That you have the power within you when you support and empower and encourage yourself. That there is a switch inside of you that you can flip. You can go from feeling negative to positive. You can go from feeling on edge to grounded. You can go from feeling like you are trapped in a very, very dark place to flipping a switch and letting a little light in. That the biggest source of power in your life is being connected and grounded in yourself. And when you learn how to bring the need for validation and the need for support back home, when you know that you can wake up every day and you've got a human being staring back at you in the mirror that you truly care about and are encouraging and are going through life with, that's the most incredible feeling in the world. You see, the best part about liking yourself is that if somebody else doesn't like you, it doesn't change how you feel about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The best part about learning how to love yourself is that if somebody else stops loving you, it doesn't mean you stop loving you. The best part about being kind to yourself is that when somebody else isn't kind to you, it doesn't impact whether or not you're kind to yourself. You become a much more solid and secure and grounded person because you have located your worth and your value and your love right in your own body, in your own acceptance. And so, I don't even know if I'm saying this clearly, but because it's such a profound idea. I think that we think if somebody else loves us, that means we're lovable. And the problem with that is that when that person stops loving you, you're no longer
Yeah.
lovable. We got to flip it, everybody. You got to start treating yourself with loving kindness, because when you do that, you affirm your own existence. And if somebody else breaks up with you or stops being your friend or is a jerk to you, yeah, it hurts. But it doesn't change the fact that you know you love yourself and you know inherently that you're worthy. And the reason why you know that is because of how you treat yourself. And every morning when you stand in front of that mirror, you have one of two habits. You're either going to reject who you are and judge yourself, which is what you do right now, or I'm inviting you to use science and break the habit and raise your hand in defiance of the decades of self-judgment and criticism that you've aimed at yourself, and reclaim your life and take control of your future, one high five at a time.
I love how you said it. The key word was that power is in you. When you know
Yeah.
that power is in you, you're unstoppable.
Yeah.
It's just like magical.
Yeah. And it's one of the reasons why half of the book is about your mindset. So the book is literally the first page, the first chapter is about the story. Then we go right into the science so I can punch your cynicism in the face. Then we go to FAQs because people have a lot of questions about how to do this. And then we go right into all these other tools, because the high
Mm-hmm.
five in the mirror is just the beginning. There's about a dozen tools in here that you're going to use to develop what I call a high five attitude, which is an attitude grounded in optimism, an attitude grounded in resilience, an attitude grounded in courage and self-acceptance. It's this notion that no matter what's going on, you have the ability with your attitude and your actions to face it. And it doesn't make your life perfect. It doesn't change the problems that you're facing. It changes you and your ability to face those things in your life and to have a positive impact on them. And so, the last half of the book is all about cultivating this high five attitude, which is the ability to flip yourself from a negative state into a more positive, optimistic one. And so we cover the things that trip us all up. Guilt. How many of you struggle with guilt? People pleasing. There's another one. People pleasing, ironically, is not about other people. People pleasing is about your own insecurity. If you're secure with yourself, if you like yourself, if you support yourself, it doesn't matter what other people think. You see, you don't like yourself right now. That's why you're obsessed with trying to see if other people will like you, because you're seeking that validation outside you. This is about your insecurity. So we talk about people pleasing. We talk about procrastination. We talk about fear and insecurity. We talk about jealousy and comparison, all things that trip you up and take you mentally low. And I'm going to teach you how to flip the switch inside of you when you get derailed by those things and get yourself back on track.
Also, there was a question, do some people cry when they high-five themselves? I know you said it before. We discussed it on my podcast, but just to
Yeah.
remind someone.
Yeah. most people either have a positive or a negative reaction. The negative one is the resistance that comes from years and years of judgment and rejection of self. You can push through it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just do it anyway. It takes about 5 days for you to push through it. And then holy cow, is the difference crazy. And for those of you that have burst into tears, it's actually a really positive thing because it's an emotional release. The tears come from a lifetime of rejecting yourself. And as you start to cry, you're having a realization that you're coming home. Because you didn't actually do this when you were little. You didn't reject yourself in the mirror. You would stand in front of the mirror and kiss yourself and spin and laugh and giggle. Life taught you to criticize yourself. And so I want to help you come home to yourself.
And also, I want to remind everyone that Mel and I, we had a podcast recording, so there is a new episode up. It's called Transforming the the High Five Habit, and it's
all these fives are
iTunes.
tripping everybody up. I apologize.
It's on iTunes, SoundCloud, Spotify, and you can listen to the episode. We're discussing everything in details. We're talking about the book, about 5-second rule, and so much more. And
yeah, and by the way, get into the High Five Challenge, everybody. This is not a drill. Yeah. This is a party online. It's free. It's 5 days. You need this. It starts October 4th. If you miss out, you are literally an idiot. Do not do that to yourself. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get to highfivechallenge.com. What do you got to lose? I have engineered this thing for you so that it lifts you up. It gives you the support. It walks you through the science. There are daily journaling prompts. I'm coaching you. I'm going to rocket your ass so high, you're going to need a parachute to come back down to earth, for crying out loud. So get into the High Five Challenge. When is the challenge? October 4th through October 8th. And we have already taped the coaching videos. I've never put this material out before. You can only find it in the High Five Challenge. You get free access to Growth Day, which is normally $300 a year. You get science-backed journaling prompts. And the best part, there will be more than 100,000 people in there. There's already 10,000 people that have pre-registered that are already in there uploading photos, introducing themselves. So get in the High Five Challenge, everybody.
Yeah, and also where they can purchase a book. I know
anywhere you want.
Questions.
Buy it anywhere you want. Go to your favorite bookstore, although I've heard that most bookstores have sold out of it, the independents, unfortunately. But you can get it online. Just find it wherever books are sold.
Hi, Team Story. Team just joined as well. It's my
Who
favorite.
Did?
Team Story just joined.
Who's Tim
He's
Story?
A legend.
Hi, Tim Story, the legend.
My podcast. Yeah, he's on my podcast, and he's humanitarian, and he is a motivational speaker. So he read in the book. It was very interesting as well. So I just seen him joining our live as well. So I'm just saying hi to him.
Awesome.
And anything else you would like to add about your book? Anything else anyone should know?
I am reading the book online, cover to cover, every day on Instagram and Facebook. We just started today.
Oh, wow.
So if you get over to our social channels, especially Instagram, and you hit the notifications, I'm literally reading the book cover to cover because I'm on a mission to make sure, even if you can't afford the book right now, which so many people are struggling, or you can't get it, it's coming out in 23 languages. They'll all be out by the end of the year. Spanish is up next in the next couple of weeks. But if you cannot find the book, if you're waiting for it to be in a different language, I wanted to make sure everybody had access to these tools and to the science. So we are going to read it cover to cover every day, a little bit for free on my social media channels.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Mel. It was fun.
Thank you. You're awesome.
It was my pleasure.
You are. You got to tell me the tricks. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
High
five.
Bye. High five.